Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Priscilla Bola. Tonight, I'm going to be having my discussion on the impact of drug addiction on today's young adults, as well as the need for widespread help network and public education campaign. As I explore this issue, I want to highlight the work of one group doing an important work in this area. The Partnership to End Addiction. Try to picture yourself as a bright and optimistic 23 years old whose life suddenly descends into the pits of drugs dependency. Such was particularly the case of my young nephew, whose story is an illustration of the devastation that substance abuse can have on young people. Desperate to sustain his addiction, he made the wrong choice to steal a mobile phone, which set in motion a series of events that ultimately threatened his life. I have personally seen what drug addiction can do to the lives of our young people in the community. Because I work for some rehabilitation clinics and my involvement in educational programs, I see these things happen every day. In light of this terrifying reality, the urgent need for comprehensive support system and awareness campaign to combat drug addiction is more important than ever. I firmly believe in approaching this multi-factor problem with sensitivity and compassion to aid those who are struggling from this problem. This is because facilitating the end of drug abuse among young adults in is a commitment to the health and our community and the future of our young people. Given the urgency of the problem, I feel it is essential to recognize the efforts of Fred Munch, who is the leader of the Partnership to End Drug Addiction, an organization making strides in a fight against drugs addiction in the younger population. First of all, let's just take a look at how common drug abuse is and how it affects young people's lives. Among young people, substance misuse is widespread, especially with regard to alcohol and marijuana, prescription drugs, opioid, and poly drugs use. Let's take, for instance, in the United States, between 14.8 and 25.2% of young people are dealing with a drug problem. And this was covered in by the Ballet and colleague in their 2022 articles. Young people are more susceptible to drug addiction to many factors, such as peer pressure, stress, trauma, social economic factors, inequality in social economy. For instance, social economic disparities such as poverty and lack of resources can create uh, an environment where drug addiction become more prevalent. Potential consequences of drug use include physical health effects like organ damage, mental health issues such as the increased risk of anxiety and depression, and a high risk of developing addiction, which can lead to long-term negative impact on various aspects of our life. Similarly, like cocaine carry like high risks of cardiovascular problems, cognitive impairment, and psychological dependency. Now let's turn to Fred. Uh, his narrative illustrates the road to recovery from drugs addiction. That was captured by Kosolojo when he narrated this story about Fred, how this whole story was widely told when Fred was introduced to drugs by a close friend. And as the narrative goes on, this close friend actually became the one who would supply Fred with drugs on a daily basis. And he became addicted, and it had a great impact on his life, both physically, socially, mentally. Um, the detailed description of the physical and emotional deterioration he underwent as a result of his addiction could be seen by evidence in his weight loss. He had a lot of issues. He had family breakaway, and like he was just so depressed, and everything was just it just went downstream for him. But after a while, he did recover. The success of Fred recovery demonstrate the value of inspiration, perseverance, and the love of community support. His success to being sober was primarily due to therapeutic efforts. Also, like for instance, the 12 steps program and community groups. Um, so Fred narrative encourages empathy and understanding. Now, let's look at how the partnership to end addiction is working to make a difference. This organization mission is to help family who are struggling with drug abuse by providing resources, support, and advocacy based on reality scientific proof. They just launched, for a matter of fact, awareness campaign to warn parents and guardians about the danger of their children abusing prescription drugs. In doing so, they aim to minimize substance misuse by boosting public awareness and fostering open communication within households. They have also succeeded in changing community views towards addiction via advocacy, um, and thereby decreasing the stigmatizing, while increasing compassion and understanding. In conclusion, tackling the issue of drug addiction among young adults call for like straight uh, action from all segments of society. The partnership to end drug addiction is at the forefront of offering resources, assistance, and advocacy in the fight against drugs misuse. Thou, we must support them. We can equip young individuals to make wise decisions and get treatment when needed by raising public awarenesses or encouraging education, supporting open dialogue about drugs addiction. The community must provide a safe place, or like a safe space where people may find sympathy, help, and access appropriate care. Let us see the fight against drug addiction as an ongoing battle, require collective efforts to give victims a second chance at a productive life. Together, we can pave the way for a future where young adults are empowered to overcome addiction, leading to a healthier, brighter, and equitable world for all. Thank you for listening.